Right, hi everyone. Speaking to you is Mr. Tizwi. Today I want to speak about multinational companies. Multinational companies, right? Multinational businesses, right? Remember, a business is any entity which exists to make profit. Now, so my today's lesson objectives is for you to know reasons why might firms become multinational companies, also advantages of multinational companies to host countries, and also the disadvantages of multinational companies to host countries. Then lastly, we are going to discuss on the possible problems of multinational companies. Maybe they may face the problem they may face as multinational companies. So that is our today's objectives, right? Okay, let's begin. So, before we discuss about why companies might want to become multinational companies, we want to know what is a multinational company. Right? We want to know the difference between a company in Zimbabwe and multinational companies. So, a multinational company, it is a business with its headquarters in one country, but with operating branches, factories, and assemblies plants in other countries. So it's a company which operates in more than one country, with its headquarters being in one country. For instance, MultiChoice, right? It operates across different countries, but it has its headquarters in South Africa. Now, let us now proceed on to why these companies decide to become multinational. Why multinational? Why go multinational? Okay, now these companies, they decide to operate in different countries because they want to be close to the raw materials. They want to be close to raw materials. For instance, mining companies, they might decide to operate here in Zimbabwe because in Zimbabwe there are raw materials. So they decide to, instead of importing these raw materials, they just decide to come and create their plants in that host country. The other reason is the availability of markets. They would want to explore the markets available. For instance, let's speak about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola knows that there are consumers in Zimbabwe that wants Coke. So at the end of the day, they come here in Zimbabwe, they set their plant. Like in Zimbabwe, it operates as Delta. Now, by operating in Zimbabwe, it knows that there are customers that are going to like their products. For instance, Coca-Cola. Then another reason also is to reduce the transport cost. To reduce the transport cost in the sense that by having a plant where there are raw materials, we're saying there's no longer need for transportation of these raw materials. Right. Let's continue with reasons why firms becomes multinational companies. Then the other reason, they want to avoid importation or exportation restrictions. For instance, a tobacco processing firm, for instance, Madison, there might be restrictions that we don't want this product to be exported. So the firm would decide to operate in the what? In the host country. Now let us speak about the advantages of multinational companies to the host country. Advantages of multinational companies to the host country. To the host country. Okay. The first advantage, the obvious one, is goes on to the increase in tax collections. More companies means more tax. If we have got 20, 30, 100, 1 billion companies, means that our revenue base as government is going to increase because we now have what? More firms. Imagine how much are these multinational companies are contributing towards tax. That is a big amount. Also, another advantage of multinational companies to host country is total national output of the economy may increase. Total national output, we're speaking about the GDP, gross domestic product. The whole output of the nation will increase by the contribution of these multinational companies, right? Also, creation of employment. Let's take, for instance, if McDonald's, let's take KFC. KFC is employing Zimbabweans by operating here. By that, it is helping the government in reducing the rate of unemployment, right? It also brings foreign currency. Right? Also brings foreign currency. Improvement of infrastructure. Like there in Rishawan, the infrastructure is improving. You may find that the tallest building now is now in Rishawan. That is improvement of infrastructure. This is being brought by these multinational companies. New technologies are introduced. They bring the outside technology into the host country. For instance, KPMG. KPMG is an accounting firm. It's a multinational company. They bring the new technologies. For instance, for auditing, they come here with new technologies. They help the host country. Now, I've been speaking about these advantages. There are also disadvantages that brought about by these multinational companies. Yes, they also bring disadvantages. The first one, local businesses may be forced to close down if they fail to compete with these multinational companies. We are saying that these multinational companies, they've got a competitive advantage. Because they use new technologies, they enjoy the economies of scale, and with our local firms, they might be small enough. They might be small in order to compete with these giant multinational companies. So they might be forced to close. And if they close, we're also talking of reduction of employment creation. Because in Zimbabwe, small firms contribute a lot to the employment provision. Also, exploitation of natural resources. Our natural resources, speaking of in the case of Zimbabwe, we exploit. Remember, we've got natural resources that are irreversible, and natural resources that can be reversible. But in case of these natural resources that are not reversible, they will exploit. At the end of the day, we have nothing to inherit as youth. Now, there may also be exploitation of labor. Imagine a worker being paid $80 US. and he has the family to look for. So the labor might be exploited because they are desperate to earn a living. They might be forced to work, getting little reward, or they may be forced to work along working hours, right? Or they might be underpaid doing a job that should be paying more, but at the end of the day, the employee might be paid what? Paid less. They also bring pollution. They also bring pollution to the host nation. Then they might also bring outdated technology. For instance, they say, in Zimbabwe, we are taking these machines so that they can be used here, or we are taking these vehicles. For instance, ex-Japanese cars, they might, in other countries, they don't even allow these cars to be driven in their streets. They might bring these cars down here to Zimbabwe. Right. So those are the problems of multinational companies. And the other one also, our profits are repatriated. That is taken back to the what? To the headquarters. Then at the end of the day, the host the money supply or the profits are taken back to the host nation. Then here, as the host country, they're left with what? With few, if not nothing. Right? So with this, I'm sure you now have a clear picture of what are multinational companies, and also the disadvantages and the advantages of these multinational companies. I'll post more videos concerning this, but for now, it's bye-bye. Thank you very much. I'm Godwin Tizwi. I'll be posting more. Keep informed. Bye-bye.